guys, so recently I installed some screen capture software on my computer and I thought I would use it to show you guys how I make my thumbnails for my YouTube videos. Hopefully you can pick up some cool Photoshop tips and tricks, which for the first time ever I'm going to share all of my methods with all of you guys. So the first thing we're going to need is a nice screenshot of my face, so excuse me for a minute while I pose.
Nah, I can't dance. Nah, I can't dance. Nah, I can't dance. I can't dance, but I still dance.
Okay, hopefully one of those will work. So let's hop onto the computer and make our thumbnail. Okay, so let's make our thumbnail. So we're starting in this file that I just recorded. So we're gonna just scroll through until we find a nice, oh, that one looks nice. So a nice screenshot for the thumbnail. So right now I'm just going to go into Grab and capture the screen. And then I'm going to copy and paste that into Photoshop. So this file is 1920 by 1080 pixels. You can do it at half that size, but just in case YouTube decides to do like high-Q thumbnails anywhere in the future, I like to do them just that big to begin with. So I'm just free transforming it and positioning it where I want it to be on the thumbnail. So that looks pretty good. So I actually, before I started doing this, I already put together the background, which is other thumbnails of my face, but it was just like moving things into position, so it wouldn't have been all that interesting for you guys to see. So we have that, and now I'm going to mask out my own body above this background. So I'm just going to put a layer mask on, and then I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to use a brush at about 85% hardness and maybe like 30 size. So a lot of people like to use the pen tool to mask out bodies like this, but I actually find the brush for things like this, where it doesn't have to be super exact, goes a lot faster. So I'm just gonna go all around the body, just keep masking that out. So we're almost done. To get rid of this big part of the background, I'm actually going to use the polygonal lasso tool to just draw all around that. And then I can use a giant brush to just get rid of all of it at once. Come on, Photoshop. Okay, so there we go. Now I am masked out of the background. So the next thing I'm going to do is, I think I'll put my adjustment layers onto my own body. So I'm just going to do, whoops, not exposure. I'm going to do a curves layer, and then I'm going to right click and set it to create clipping mask. Oh, whoops, that's not what I meant to do. Okay, so create clipping mask, and now it is only adjusting the layer underneath. So I'm just gonna bring up the brightness a little bit. I like to make the thumbnail picture a little brighter, a little more contrastier than the actual video, so that it really catches your attention. So I also want to clean up my skin a little bit, because obviously I do not have perfect skin. So I'm just going to use the patch tool, and I'm going to get rid of some of these spots and bumps and gross things. And this is really fast. The patch tool is like my secret weapon when it comes to cleaning up skin. I use it on like every photo I've taken of myself. It's just really easy. You just select it and then you drag it over to a nice texture, and it duplicates the texture seamlessly. So while we're zoomed in here, I actually also want to brighten up my teeth a little bit, because I don't have perfect white teeth. So I'm just going to come in here with a brush tool and set it to white, and the size can be about that. So I already set the layer mode to color, so now I'm just going to draw on top of my teeth, and obviously this looks very unnatural. You don't really want to just leave purely grayscale teeth. So I'm going to set that to 30% opacity, and then duplicate the layer and set that to soft light. And now we have a pretty subtle whiter teeth. Now I also want to add another color effect to my own body here, so I'm going to do another curves layer, and now I'm going to go into red, green, and blue separately, and I'm going to do a little S curve like this. Is that an S curve? I don't know. I haven't taken math in a long time, so I'm just gonna do that, and you can see the color is getting pretty crazy and pretty intense. So I'm just gonna finish that up, and then set the opacity down to about 50, maybe 40, and you can see it just brings out the colors a little more, just makes it a little more vibrant. So now I need to do something about this background because it is getting way too busy. So I'm actually going to add, actually first I'm going to duplicate the background and then merge all of it so it's all in one group. And then I'm going to do a Gaussian blur on top of it. So I'm going to do that at about 5, looks alright. And set that to 60. And you can see how it just adds a nice kind of blurry, dreamy layer effect on top of it to make it all feel more like one big image. And then I also want to add some color effects. So I have this screenshot of the background and I'm just going to grab my nice colorful clock and copy and paste that onto here. Let's blow that up, which, stick with me guys, I know it's going to look really awful for a few minutes, but trust me, I know what I'm doing. So that goes right there. Let's do, I think we can do a motion blur on that too, so that really just becomes a blurry mess of colors instead of an actual like pixelated photo. And then let's set that to maybe a screen, maybe lighten, no, screen definitely looks better. And then I'm going to duplicate that and maybe turn it around a little bit so we don't have the same colors. There we go. So now we don't have all the same colors. It's gotten a little bit light, so we have to wait for it to transform. Okay, so now let's set that to maybe soft light. That might look alright. And then let's bring this one down to about maybe 60. Maybe 80. There we go, that looks alright. So now, to make myself pop out a little bit, I'm going to add an outer glow. So we're going to set that to black and then to normal, and then this can come down to 75. Let's do maybe 15. And that looks a little bit better. Now we can just go in and clean up a little bit of this masking because we're getting some of this ugly white stuff with the outer glow that you don't really want to see. There we go, that looks better. So now I think it is time to add our text. So I think the text is going to be how to design a thumbnail. And let's blow that up a little bit so that we can actually see what we're working with. I'm gonna leave that right about there. So I was thinking the color might be a nice magenta. That might look kind of nice. So let's try to grab something from out here. There we go, nice and vibrant. So now we are going to add a stroke that is white and really big so that it really lives on a white background on this thumbnail. And then we're going to do a gradient overlay on soft light, just add a little bit of interest to the colors, and then an outer glow to make it pop off the background. So let's set that to black and to normal. And this one, since we have the stroke all around it, we need to bring the spread out quite a bit so that you can actually see it. Oh, that's way too much. There we go, something like that looks alright. Let's bring that down to maybe 50, maybe 40. And I think I also want to add that same gradient overlay to my own face right here. So I'm just going to set that to soft light. And just adds a little more visual interest to the photo. And then, okay, so then for the text, we're almost done, guys. We're so close to being done. I don't really like these ugly sections in the middle where you can see the background shining through, so I'm just going to take a brush in white and I'm just going to fill those in on a new layer. And it looks like those are the only two that need filling in. So let's zoom back out and let's see what we have. And if we zoom all the way out, I think that'll be a pretty nice thumbnail. It's pretty bright and vibrant. I think we could use a little bit of black on the edges. So I'm just going to come in here with a giant brush and add some black corners. Okay, there we go. Now we have our black corners. So I'm going to set that to overlay so that it's not actually black. It just brings out the colors a little more on the edges. And I think I'll do the same thing with white right in the middle. And now we can set that to overlay and also bring that one down to maybe like 40 so that you can actually see the things underneath. And you can see how if we take those off and put them back on, it just adds a little more dimension and kind of draws your eye towards the center a little bit. So I think we're just going to add, I think my face could be a little bit brighter. So let's just add a quick hue saturation, maybe like 12. It looks alright, and this is not vertically centered. So let's fix that. So alright, I think we're pretty much done. I hope you guys like this thumbnail. So it's the thumbnail to this video, so you already saw it, and now you can see all the work that goes into building it. I hope you guys found this interesting, and take it away, me from before. So there you go, that's how I make my YouTube thumbnails. This isn't the only way you can make a thumbnail, there are so many different designs you could do, but hopefully you picked up a couple tips or tricks to help you guys in your thumbnail making journeys. If there's anything I did that you're not sure what it was or how to do it, feel free to ask me in the comments down below, and or Google is your friend. Also, if you'd like me to design the thumbnails for your videos, I do that for some other people. I've recently been doing that for Dan Brown and Josh Sundquist, and I think it's super fun. I do charge money since graphic design is my job, but if that's something you're interested in, feel free to send me an email. Okay, self-promotion over. So if you like this video and you want some tips on designing your YouTube channel page, you can check out that video right here. And if you're about to head to VidCon and you want some tips on how to design a business card, you can check out that video right here. And yes, I will be at VidCon. I am on a panel all about graphic design on YouTube. More to come about that very soon. And remember, if you want to see all of my graphic design videos, I'll have a playlist for you with everything in one place linked right down below. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you liked this video, and I will see you all next time. Oh man, my battery thing was blinking red for like the entire second half of what I was filming. That was the most nerve-wracking thing I've ever done.